start their title defence with a draw in Mallorca. A Robert Lewandowski brace earns Barcelona a comeback at Mestalla and a debut in the dugout of Hansi Flick. And the new look at Girona also start well, taking a draw in their always difficult visit to the Benito These are the initial results from match day 1 of the La Liga EA Sports season, which saw Real Betis and Girona play out a 1-1 draw, a 2-2 draw between Las Palmas and Sevilla. Barcelona coming back from behind to beat Valencia on the road. A Rayo Vallecano 2-1 win away from home against Real Sociedad. And Real Madrid dropping points against Mallorca in a 1-1 stalemate at Son Moix. The matchday concludes on Monday with Valladolid against Espanyol and Villarreal hosting Atletico Madrid. Three teams already have 3 points on the board: Celta Vigo, Barcelona and Rayo Vallecano. Real Madrid's title defence began at Son Moix against Mallorca. On matchday 1, it was the debut of Kylian Mbappe. Plenty of stars in attendance to take in the occasion, including Rudy Fernandez and Rafa Nadal. And the action got underway. It was just a few minutes in that the first opportunity went Mallorca's way. They had a promising start, and Dani Rodriguez's effort found its way outside the post. Samu Costa put Courtois to the test with his left-footed drive. And Vinicius Jr. with the back heel played to Rodrigo. Rodrigo found some space, tucked the ball inside the right post and scored Real Madrid's first goal of the La Liga season. It came just 12 minutes in. Chances continued for Los Blancos, including for Rodrigo himself. A right-footed drive that had to be tipped over the crossbar by Dominic Grif. Vinicius Jr. played one into the near post, and Kylian Mbappe had his first chance of the game. He sent it into the side netting. And there are further chances for Mallorca. The ball spilt, caused some real problems for Thibaut Courtois. Wasn't quite turned across the line by Vedat Muriqi. The start of the second half, Mallorca got the equaliser. It came through Muriqi with a typical trademark power header from the Kosovan. He got on the end of Dani Rodriguez's corner. And there Real Madrid were looking to get back in front. Mbappe put Grif to the test. Ball threaded through. There's another chance for Mbappe. Again, Grif got a touch. Mojica was able to drive it clear. Luka Modric was brought on midway through the second half. He had an effort spilt by Grif in the Mallorca goal. It was an onslaught from Real Madrid. But Mallorca had chances too. A few better than this for Antonio Sanchez. Double chance that he put wide of goal. Cal Larin brought one back again, and it was another chance for Antonio Sanchez that he fired over the crossbar. Late on, Felomonti was sent off for a lunging challenge on Vedat Murici. He will be suspended for the game against Valladolid on match day 2. This one ended in a draw. The final score: Mallorca 1, Real Madrid 1.
Barcelona make a winning start to the season with a 2-1 victory over Valencia at Mestalla. They had to come from behind to do it, but a great way for Hansi Flick to start life as Barcelona coach. And some promising stuff from Valencia. They'll certainly be encouraged by the way they started the game. This is brilliant from Almeida to get away from Casado. Barcelona playing with Marc Bernal and Marc Casado, the 17-year-old and the 20-year-old in their midfield. And they were outstanding, although Casado was well beaten there by Almeida. And Kubasi had to poke the ball to safety. Lamine Yamal playing this one into Rafinha. And a stinging shot for Mamardashvili to deal with, which he did, for the moment at least. Mamardashvili still in goal for Valencia. And it was Valencia who came closest to opening the scoring. Ter Stegen making a very important stop there from that Marc Kubasi block from Diego Lopez's cross. But they were not to be denied for too much longer. Valencia, Diego Lopez cross, and Hugo Duro with the header. Now he can't celebrate because the flag is up, but the linesman got it wrong. Inigo Martinez was playing him onside, so the goal was given. It did stand. There was a delayed celebration, but Valencia were one up, and Hugo Duro with his first goal of the season, no more than he deserved. He was spectacular in the first half. He could have scored twice. We'll see shortly why he didn't. There's confirmation of the offside decision. Down at the other end, Barcelona trying to get themselves back into it. Ferran. This one comes into Lewandowski, swept out to Balde, and it was Marc Casado with the shot, blocked by Vázquez. Mistake there from Marc-André Ter Stegen. Kubasi clears that one off the line. Crucial moment in the game, this, because it could have been 2-0 to Valencia, and within seconds it was 1-1. Down at the other end, the ball swept out by Rafinha to Balde. Balde with the cross to Lamine. Lamine to Lewandowski, and that was the equaliser. Deep into stoppage time in the first half. Lewandowski scored the first goal in the Hansi Flick era at Bayern Munich, and he's done the same at Barcelona. And there's only one thing worse than conceding just before the break, and that's conceding just after the break, and that's exactly what Valencia then went and did. Mosquera brought down Rafinha. The referee pointed to the spot, and that was a chance for Lewandowski to get his second of the game, and he does so with a brilliant penalty. This is just unstoppable. It's hit with power, it's in the top corner, it's got a little bit of curl on it. It seems to bend just back in before it passes the left hand upright of Mamardashvili's goal. No goalkeeper in the world is going to stop that. 2-0, 2-1 I should say. Second goal of the game for Lewandowski. Some good skill there from Lamine Yamal. He puts Ferran Torres away. Everyone in Mestalla thinks it's offside. It wasn't. The flag was never raised. That would have counted. But Mamardashvili made the save. Lewandowski barely got a touch in the first half an hour. He made up for it in the final hour of the game. Casado was brilliant in midfield throughout, and he could have capped his performance with a goal. But in the end, Barcelona didn't need it. Final score in Mestalla, Valencia 1, Barcelona 2.
Liga got underway for Real Betis and Girona at the Benito Villamarín on Thursday night. Two teams still under construction for the new campaign met up on the opening day of the season. Before the game got underway, tributes were paid to some of the Betis players who'd won honours with their respective countries over the summer. In the Under-19s European Championships and at the Olympics, with Abde getting a bronze for Morocco. It didn't take long for Betis to open the scoring as Nabil Fekir delivered in a corner. Marc Bartra headed home for his first La Liga goal in over 2 years. A well-placed header at the near post. New Girona signing Bryan Gil was toying with the opposition defence. He brought a ball across to Herrera. His effort went over the crossbar. Careless ball at the back from Arnau Martinez, gave possession away to Betis. It really should have been 2-0 as Aitor Ruibal had his effort parried away by Gazzaniga. Bryan Gil went on the attack again, maybe chose the wrong option with his low strike. That was saved by Rui Silva. Also in the second half, this delivery to the near post almost resulted in a goal on his debut for Abel Ruiz. Got the better of Bartra but was denied by the post. Second half substitute for Betis, Rodri got 2 bites at this. First of all passed off to Fekir, then had to produce a fine save from the opposition goalkeeper Gazzaniga. Isahoy had come on and barely a minute later he finished off a tremendous assist from Almeida to level things up. That was on 71 minutes. So the onus was on Betis to attack, to try and get back out in front. Jimmy Avila tested the woodwork with his overhead kick attempt. So he'd released Martin, and Christian Stuani, who'd just come on, was an option for a couple of pullbacks. Never quite reached the Uruguayan. At the other end, Fekir on the counter, laid one off. It was poor control from Altamira. There was the follow-up from Johnny, though, off target from him. Fekir had a go before the end. His bouncing effort went wide. As the game ended in a stalemate. Betis 1, Girona 1. The opening game of the season took place at San Mamés. Boyan Sunset needed just 27 minutes to open up the new campaign with a great goal. A beautiful transition from Athletic Club in which Gurazeta found Sunset on the outskirts of the area. The number 8 set it up onto his right foot and struck perfectly inside the post. It was the best way possible to open up his goal-scoring tally for the season. And Sunset looks set to become one of Athletic Club's big players this term.
One of the shocks of match day one at the Real Arena. Real Sociedad beaten by Rayo Vallecano. Celebrations at the start of the game for some of the gold medal winners, or the medal winners from the Paris Olympics. One of those, Paul Echeniz, won a bronze kayaking. And the Real Sociedad players who also came back with honours from the European Championships were also honoured. There was almost a goal in the first 30 seconds. Ratiu with the Rabona, after he got away from Ramiro. Pacheco making the block. Real Sociedad's first game without Robin Lenormand, of course, who joined Atletico Madrid in the summer. And with Mikel Merino watching from the stands, not in the squad and expected to leave the club, it's going to be a big season for Beñat Turrientes, and that was his fantastic shot just over the top. The man who effectively has to replace Lenormand is Aritz Elizondo, and that was his header. The goal gaping, he glances it wide. Martin Zubimendi came on in the second half, and Real Sociedad kept toiling without reward. Bryce Mendes with this shot, well saved by Cárdenas. Corner after corner from the home side, but Bryce Mendes unable to get on the end of that shot from Javi Lopez. They were their own worst enemies at times. Real Sociedad playing out sloppily and almost punished there by substitute Gerard Gumbau. An indication of what was to follow, because it would be Rayo who got themselves in front. And when they did, it was all about the assist from this man. Mumin, driving run from him out of defence. He plays the ball to De Frutos. He twists and turns and then sends his shot in off the underside of the crossbar. 66 minutes up when De Frutos strikes. It's a tremendous run from Mumin. A well-timed run as well from De Frutos. And he comes inside and then outside, and then the right foot shot. Ramiro beaten 1-0 to Rayo. How would Real Sociedad respond to that? Well, they kept driving forward, but they could not find the finishing touch. That was Bryce Mendes. The ball was adjudged to have gone out anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. It was a good block from Cárdenas. Mumin heads this one clear. It comes out to Zubimendi. He shoots just wide. Patesis playing this one to Camello, and he coolly makes it 2-0. And it's just so easy for Rayo Vallecano. Camello got the all-important goals in the Olympics final, and carrying on that rich vein of form. It's a good pass from from Patesis, and nice finish from Camello. Real Sociedad would eventually score, but it was too little too late. Martin Zubimendi, 97-minute goal, but not enough to salvage anything from this game for Real Sociedad. It was their home form that was their problem last season, and judging from the first game of the new campaign, it's going to be the same story this season. Final score, Real Sociedad 1, Rayo Vallecano 2.
Athletic Club and Getafe opened the La Liga EA Sports season on a Thursday night at San Mamés, the first game of the year. Nico Williams on the bench. He would come off the bench in the second half to try and create a spark. This game showcased the personality of both teams, and an auspicious Getafe started strong. They looked like the more likely side to score through the first quarter of an hour. Carlos Perez, the new man on loan from Celta Vigo, was one of the many new names that Jose Bordalas can count on. Another one would be Crisantus Uche, the Nigerian who made his La Liga debut, his pro debut actually, his first appearance in the first or second division of Spanish football. Comes over from Ceuta in the 3rd tier. But we knew that quality would break through, and it surely did. The first goal of the year belongs to Ollán Sancet with an absolute beauty. It was the first real chance of the game for Athletic Club. They had been sitting back and waiting for their moment, and once it came, Sancet delivered. Scored 4 goals last year, 10 the year before that, and many of them from a distance like that to make it 1-0. Perez in the first half was one of the bright spots for Getafe. Just couldn't get on the score sheet, but created a ton of chances. A new keeper for Athletic Club, by the way, in goal is Alex Padilla, the 3rd choice keeper, because both Unai Simon and the 2nd choice keeper for Athletic Club unavailable due to injury, and Iñaki Williams did start this game, and with this effort on his left foot, seeing it skim just beyond the far post. Chance would fall at the beginning of the second half for Peter Federico, another new Getafe name. Federico was on loan at Valencia last year from Real Madrid Castilla, La Fábrica, the academy of Real Madrid. Signs with Getafe permanently for €2 million, and with his first touch nearly found the back of the net. Another big chance and a huge save from the youngster Padilla. Carles Aleñá was in on goal, and Padilla denied him with a leg stretch that ignited San Mamés and kept Athletic Club in the lead. How about that for a save? Aleñá was sure that he had scored, but Getafe would get their goal, and it was the new man, Uche, with a perfectly redirected header just beyond the hour mark to make it 1-1. Crisantos Uche gets beyond the veteran Ander Herrera, and you have to say it was deserved. Getafe pushed forward on a number of occasions on this night, and that goal made it 1-1. So in comes Nico Williams to try and create, immediately gets on the ball and immediately forces David Soria to do this. One of 2 saves for Soria in the final half an hour to keep the game level at a goal apiece. That's the kind of threat that the European champion Williams can create. The next chance would come from Yuri Berchiche from a distance. Soria with another save. The follow-up from Dani Vivian wouldn't have counted. He was in an offside position, but Soria still had to make that first save. An in-between hop, a low skimmer that he kept out of the net to allow Getafe to grab a point, which they would do. Opening night, it ends Getafe 1, Athletic Club 1.
The opening game of the season for Las Palmas and Sevilla saw them go head-to-head at the Estadio de Gran Canaria. It was a special day for Xavier García Pimienta as he was making his debut as Sevilla manager, no less against his former club. Luis Miguel Carrión making obviously his debut in the dugout for Las Palmas. It was a lively game from start to finish, and Sevilla would actually have the first chance of the matchup. Lucas Ocampos wearing the captain's armband on the day for Sevilla, who was denied by the first of quite a few saves from Jasper Cillessen, who was making his Las Palmas debut. The former Valencia and Barcelona shot stopper not losing a step, being back in the Spanish top flight. However, he could not keep out the opening goal that came after a brilliant run down the left from Adrià Pedrosa, who ran the entire length of the pitch to whip in a low cross that was helped over the line by Las Palmas defender Alex Suarez. So an own goal would break the deadlock. Las Palmas were still lively when it came to playing the ball forward. Marvin Park was able to pick out Ollie McBurney, who was making his La Liga and Las Palmas debut here, but a good save from Neuland helped the ball onto the post. However, the Sevilla goalkeeper would eventually be beaten here just before half-time. A cross that was deflected and dropped kindly for Kylian was then helped across for a Sevilla centre-half to put the ball into the back of his own net. Tanguy Nianzou getting there just ahead of Ollie McBurney, who would have got to the ball anyway, but it was indeed an own goal for the Frenchman. And yet Gudel had the chance to reinstate Sevilla's lead before half-time with his trademark long-range effort, but he just put that one over the crossbar. Images now, though, of the second half, and Las Palmas came out the better side, really, from the half-time break. And despite that, it would actually be Sevilla who would retake the lead. As Las Palmas struggled to keep out this low ball from Isaac Romero that was finished off by Juanlu Sanchez, the eventual MVP of the match. Las Palmas had more of the ball, creating more danger at the other end, and yet one chance Sevilla had. They put it in to make it 2-0. But Las Palmas were able to react themselves later on in the half. No one better than Sandro, who with his first contribution, having just come on off the bench, made it 2-2. A man who hadn't scored many goals last season, it's fair to say, and was left on the bench on the opening day after some new strikers had arrived at the club, and yet he was the one to rescue a point on the day for the side from the Canary Islands. Good finish despite the deflection. Luque Bacchio had this golden opportunity just minutes later to make it 3-2, but the Belgian international could only hit the side netting. Djibril Sow was denied twice in stoppage time by Jasper Cillessen. The chance to make it 3-2 for Sevilla. This was the first save. Again, Adrià Pedrosa with a good attempt at an assist, but Cillessen was there to deny Djibril Sow. The second attempt came from the opposite side. Jesus Navas, who had come on off the bench, would pick out his Swiss teammate, but Cillessen was there again to parry it away. This being one of 4 saves the Dutchman made on the night on his return to La Liga. The points were shared in a 2-2 draw between Las Palmas and Sevilla.
Leganés returned to La Liga, and they did so with a draw on their visit to El Sadar. Juan Soriano played a key role in getting a point against Osasuna. The goalkeeper had been a protagonist in an unfortunate move for Osasuna's equaliser. But just 3 minutes later, he redeemed himself, making the best save of the match day. Ryan Zaragoza, who was debuting for Osasuna, looked for a goal with a solo move. However, his shot towards the top corner was met by a spectacular save. It was the top stop of match day 1 in La Liga EA Sports.
A fun night at Balaidos on opening night. Game between Celta and Alavés, 2 teams who have ambitions to stay away from relegation scrap this year, and both teams proved that they are capable of that for various reasons. The game started in a weird way, though. Iago Aspas, watch him here, right there, as he gets up, delivers a little clothesline that's originally deemed to be a red card, and instead VAR would get involved, and the rookie referee Alejandro Quintero Gonzalez, in his first ever game in La Liga EA Sports, rescinds it, turns it into a yellow, and we play on 11v11 from there. And it would be Alavés to get the first goal. Quique Garcia on the feed from Antonio Blanco nods it into the back of the net to give Alavés the early lead. A veteran finish for a man that Alavés will need with no other striker on the books as it stands right now. Samu Omarodian gone after his loan spell. Garcia scores to start things off, and we thought that Celta found their equalizer. Look at Aspas finishing it off, putting it in the back of the net, but we had a little issue. by a toenail. Look at this. Tassos Douvikas. Offside. The semi-automated offside would confirm that, but by how little? Look at this. That is the difference. And it would mean that Celta would have to wait to find their equalizer. In the second half, the first shot on target officially for Celta came off the head of Aspas. Big save from Antonio Silvera to keep Alavés in the lead, and he came up with another one just minutes later. A deflection made it difficult. Free kick from Oscar Mingueza, and it clicked off of Musa Diarra. Silvera up to the task though. So we continued on looking for an equalizer, and we found it in the form of Williot Swedberg. A rocket fiery finish from Swedberg to make it 1-1. No problems coming off the bench and doing that. That allowed Celta to find their way back into this game, and Alavés were the team that looked more likely to find the go-ahead goal at that point. They pushed forward. Quique Garcia again in the area. More chances coming for them throughout the second half. Stoichkov linking up a new member, Hugo Novoa, has his chance with a back heel flick. It doesn't quite come off. And it means that Alavés still don't have their go-ahead goal. And a mistake from Heilson in the back means that Stoichkov has his chance. Can he put the team in front? No, what a recovery. Excellently done in the end by Javi Rodriguez to keep Celta on level terms. And even still, another chance for Alavés. This time, Asier Villalibre, the hero from 2 years ago in the promotion playoff. And it's Villar with a big save. 1-1 it would stay. Garcia Plaza can't believe it. And they would rue the day that they didn't find the second, because Iago Aspas would. No doubts, the eternal captain of Vigo. And Celta take a 2-1 lead. A lead that they would not relinquish. Aspas starts it off on the right foot. And Celta get their first win in an opening day game in 8 years. They finish at Balaidos with a victory. Celta 2, Alavés 1.
The Vicente Moreno era began at El Sadar as the new Osasuna manager welcomed newly promoted Leganés. Before the game, Aymar Oroz, the Osasuna youth teamer, who had come through the academy, winning the Olympic gold medal in the summer. Before taking his place in the side, Darko Brasanac, who left the club, the home club, in the summer before joining Leganés, make an immediate return to El Sadar, and he looked on as Valentin Rossier found the back of the net inside the opening few minutes. But that pass there deemed to find Miguel de la Fuente offside. The visitors' goal ruled out. They'd continue to push forward, and it would be de la Fuente who would test Sergio Herrera in the Osasuna goal with that header. Lucas Toro eventually turning it up and over his own crossbar. Ruben Garcia kept Juan Soriano on his toes in the Leganés goal. Osasuna number 14 connecting with that ball in mid-air. A comfortable enough save from the goalkeeper. But it would be the visitors who would take the lead, and take the lead in some style. Javi Hernandez with the ball forward, and Juan Cruz with 21 minutes on the clock, producing a stunning finish. It was Juan Cruz that found Javi Hernandez. And the Leganés left back would complete the 1-2 with that ball up and over the top of the Osasuna defence. Juan Cruz with one of the goals of the weekend, if not one of the goals of the season, to put Lega ahead. The onus then fell on Osasuna to try and pull themselves back into the game, but in the second half it would be Javi Hernandez who tried to double the visitors' lead, prodding that ball goalwards. Sergio Herrera out well though. They did start to try and find some luck in front of goal. On that occasion, Ante Budimir turning for Osasuna inside the penalty area. Van Soriano equal to it, making the save, and moments later, substitute John Moncayola lifting the ball in. Aymar Oroz, that gold medal winner, heading the ball over from close range. Then Darko Brasanac, in his return to the club, where he spent the last 5 seasons, turning inside the penalty area, looking to sweep the ball past the keeper, only for Sergio Herrera to stick out a right boot and make a save. Brian Zaragoza, on loan from Bayern Munich for the season, then thought perhaps that he'd drawn his side level, only for Sergio Gonzalez to throw himself in the way. But Osasuna would find a route to an equaliser. Aymar Oroz shot deflecting off Darko Brasanac onto the post and across the goal line via the leg of Juan Soriano. A real stroke of luck for the hosts, a real piece of bad luck for the away team. Aymar Oroz taking aim, clipped Brasanac's legs onto the post and onto the legs of Soriano and in. Osasuna would then push forward, looking for a winner. Brian Zaragoza with another fine shot. On this occasion, Juan Soriano with a stunning save, getting his fingertips to the effort to turn it on to the woodwork. And that's how it finished at El Sadar. Osasuna 1, Leganés 1.
Williot Swedberg ended last season as one of the key players for Celta Vigo, and after continuing his solid displays during pre-season, he looks set to break out this term. In Celta's opening league game of the season, Claudio Giraldes, the coach, brought him on at the break with his team down on the score sheet. And the young midfielder was a game changer. First of all, he provided the equaliser with a stunning goal, in which he took a loose ball on the outskirts of the area and placed it into the net. And in the final stages of the game, he popped up again to provide an assist for Iago Aspas to make it 2-1. Williot Swedberg was one of the top players for making an impact off the bench. Williot Swedberg was the best player of match day 1. These are the first batch of results from matchday 1 in La Liga EA Sports, which kicked off with 1-1 draws between Athletic Club and Getafe and Real Betis and Girona. Celta Vigo won 2-1 against Alavés. Barcelona came back from behind to best Valencia 2-1 at Mestalla. There was an away win for Rayo Vallecano by 2-1 against Real Sociedad. And Real Madrid, the reigning champions, were held to a 1-1 draw at Son Moix by Mallorca. The matchday concludes with 2 Monday night games: Valladolid against Espanyol and Villarreal against Atletico Madrid. Three teams have 3 points on the board already: Celta Vigo, Barcelona and Rayo Vallecano. Here's what's coming up on match day 2. We've got 2 Friday night fixtures. Celta Vigo against Valencia and Sevilla against Villarreal. We also have Barcelona against Athletic Club Espanyol hosting Real Sociedad. Real Madrid at home for the first time this season against Valladolid. Alavés against Betis and Atletico Madrid against Girona as the headline attraction on Sunday night.